Hi guys, my name is Yasmin Cardenas. Today I'll be talking about my research paper, my remix artifact, and what helped me in this course, and also what I struggled with. Okay, let's get started. First off, I want to say I thought this was a really interesting course. I had a lot of fun. Like normally I wouldn't. I usually don't like English. I've always thought of myself as like a bad writer, but like throughout this whole course, I've learned that it's not so much about my writing. It's about my mentality. Um, I had a lot of fun throughout this course. The essay that we worked on, it was really laid back. There was no rush. We took it step by step. Kind of moved together. Um, it was a 6 week process. 6 week process. Yeah, I said that right. I'm sorry. Um, and normally the teachers or professors, I'm sorry, they'll give you an essay. They'll be like, here's your prompt. Here's what you have to write about. You have a week tops to get it done, right? But no, this was, like I said, this was really laid back and took about 6 weeks to complete, and in the end, it turned out better than I hoped. Okay. Um, One thing that really helped me was the revising and the feedback, because I wouldn't have gone back to revise if I hadn't been given feedback. So these are the people that gave me feedback, and normally, like I've never done this before. I've never given feedback or had feedback given back to me. Um, but since this was kind of like necessary or like something we had to do, well, obviously, yeah, we had to do it. It wasn't too bad. I thought um, it was interesting. Like I liked hearing what people had to say about my writing. I thought I don't normally I don't like people reading my things because like I feel like it makes me feel judged. But what other people said really helped me to improve my essay, or like, yeah, if the mistakes that I had in my first draft hadn't been pointed out to me, I wouldn't have gone back to revise. Normally, my first draft is always my final draft. I don't go back to revise ever, but um, this time we had to, and I think it was really beneficial. So this is what I went back to revise, and over here is what I had originally, and over here is how I fixed it. Now, some of these, I, the first one, I don't know if I really fixed it. Um, yeah, I don't know if I really fixed it. I think it's more or less the same, but the rest I know I definitely fixed um, because people had said that, or my professor, she she told me, maybe like add a little bit more of your own experiences, put a little bit more of your own experiences into these into your paragraphs, and so that's exactly what I did. And I think that really did improve my my essay. Um One of the things that I struggled with was deciding what to write about. Me, I'm a very indecisive person. So when it came time to decide, like, oh, like what I should write about, it was it was really hard. Um, right, there was a lot of questions that we had to sorry, there you go. There was, so the teacher, I'm sorry, the professor basically said, okay, you're gonna write down some questions, whatever questions you think you can write an essay about, and you're gonna put them down on a piece of paper or a or Google Docs like this, and then you're gonna choose one, right? And so that's exactly what we did. I made a list of like all these questions that I thought would be good for writing an essay, and ones that I was interested in. And like I said, I'm a very indecisive person, so all the ones I thought would be good for writing, I highlighted, and as you can see, there's about 4 highlighted, which it narrows it down, but also I still only needed one. Um, I overcame it though. How did I do that? I guess I just um, nope, didn't mean to do that. What I did was I wrote down these little paragraphs and like whatever I thought was best or like whichever one made more sense to me, I guess, is the one I would write about. And I chose I chose this one. Now, the original question is why is it so much harder writing for a class than when you're writing freehand? Now, when I wrote this question, I didn't really know what I was talking about when I said freehand. Um, so as so throughout this while I was writing my essay, I kind of changed it a bit. I kind of changed it to fit what I was trying to say. So in the end, my inquiry ended up being why is creative writing so much easier for some students than academic writing? And it's basically the same thing, or like not the same, but that's what I was trying to say in my original question. Um, but yeah, I think in the future I'll try to narrow it down even more because, like I said, 4 questions out of what, like, I want to say maybe 10. It narrows it down, but I still only need one. So I think I'll probably do the same thing in the future, like write a little paragraph, um, just to see how much I can, how much I can actually write using this question, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. Um, Another thing was finding sources. Now, this one was especially hard for me because, okay, finding a video source, I had no trouble with. Finding a common source, that was easy too, because all you had to do was go into Google and type your question. Finding an academic source, however, that one was really hard for me. Um, that one was really hard. Um, because the teacher suggested we go to the UTRGV library or we use Google Scholar, and neither of them really helped me. Like neither of them really gave me what I wanted. Um, if I when I went to the UTRGV database, you can see I googled or I searched up all these, and all of them all of them gave me this 0 databases found, and so yeah, that wasn't really helpful. And then when I went to Google Scholar, again, you can see what I typed in. And most of these are like books. And honestly, as you can see, um, I already went through those. And a lot of the websites that I went into, like some of the websites you see here, like, oh, like these actually look like they would be helpful. But most of them were actually like um, websites that will write your essay for you. And so, yeah, that's not really what I was looking for. Um, anyways, um, like I said, these weren't very helpful. So I had to Google websites other than Google Scholar or the UTRGV library that I thought would be good for finding academic sources. So I So I went to a website called RefSeek. Now, I don't know how credible this website is, but it did say it was an academic search engine. So, um, I guess, so yeah. Um, like I said, I didn't know whether it was credible or whether it would be helpful, but it did give me what I was looking for. I did find one website, or not website, I did find one article that helped me. So I guess in a way it was helpful. Um, it took a lot of it took a lot of I guess like not deep thinking, but deep, like actually going in there. It wasn't like at the surface. It like what I was looking for, it wasn't at the surface. I had to dig deep to find what I was looking for. Um, what I learned from this, I'm probably not going to be using the UTRGV library for um, anything, I guess. Maybe it was just a topic that I was researching, but it wasn't really helpful, so I don't think I'll be using that again. Um, Another thing, last thing was turning my essay into an artifact. This was, I've never had to do this, so it was, it was a bit hard for me. I'm not sure if it was like for everyone, but yeah, it was a bit hard. I didn't know where to start, and I didn't know what to do. Um, but where's oh, there it is. But I ended up creating memes because that's what I thought my audience, my target audience, would have been interested in. Now that was another thing. My target audience, I had a hard time figuring out who my audience would be. My research paper was about high school students and college students, but I didn't know if that was what my whole message was about, or that was who my entire essay was written for. So yeah, it was a little hard for me to figure out who my target audience was, but once I found that out, like I said, I use memes to express my ideas or express my topic. Um, Now, to overcome it, it did take a lot of time and effort. Sorry. Um, but now that I know that my artifact should be based, or it should have been based on my audience in the future, it'll help me figure out what I have to do a lot easier. Like, for example, like if my target audience was the elderly, I probably wouldn't have chosen memes because I don't think elderly people look at memes. Probably would have been something like a brochure or an essay even, maybe like a newspaper article or something. But yeah, it would have been something other than memes. Let's see. Um, Lastly, what I know about myself as a writer is, as long as I'm interested in what I'm writing, that I think it'll be good. Like, as long as yeah, like I said, as long as I'm interested in what I'm writing, as long as more, let's see. I'm sorry, I wrote it down. I know that if I'm sure about what I want to write, if I'm interested in the subject, I can create something great because I was generally interested in this topic that I wrote about. I know that if I wasn't, I wouldn't have been as dedicated as and inclined to do it as I was, and it probably wouldn't have turned out as good as it did.